Hello. To all those new subscribers, this is a vlog where I basically, if I have an interesting idea or remember something interesting from school, I kind of make a sort of a public journal vlog entry as a way to remember that idea and see what other people think. One thing I was remembering from a class is that you can't trust statistics on their own. Even if the statistics are completely true, all the statistics you have are beyond dispute, you still can't trust them. Because they need an explanation, and without an explanation, you could lead to completely fallacious conclusions. The example they had in class, which was really, really fantastic for explaining this, is this situation. It's called the fallacy of the missing rates. Say you have an intersection that has 10 wrecks a year, and another intersection that has 1,000 wrecks a year. Now, could you tell me which intersection is more dangerous? No, you can't. Because you need to know also the number of cars in general that go through that intersection. Because it could be the case that that intersection that had 10 wrecks in 1 year had only 10 cars that went through it, so it had a wreck percentage of like 100%. And that intersection that had 1,000 wrecks that year could have had like 100,000 cars that went through it that year because it's such an incredibly busy intersection. So actually the intersection with more wrecks is safer because a much higher percentage of people who drive through it without getting into a wreck, while the one with a very small number of wrecks is extremely dangerous because almost everyone who goes through there wrecks. You know, I'm not imagining you have to think of a scenario in which that would be the case, but you will think of one. And it doesn't even have to be 100%. It could just be the case to where the one with the smaller number of wrecks still has the higher percentage of wrecks overall. So there's an example right there where the statistics alone are true. It is the case that first intersection had 10 wrecks and the second intersection had 1,000. So the statistics are true, but you still can't make conclusions off of them. You still have to you must always explain and analyze the statistics so that you don't come across crazy conclusions like this missing rate fallacy. The most common problem with statistics is association causation. So just because the rate at which one thing happened went up, at the same time another thing went up. So for instance, if you say, well, people started playing more violent video games and then violent crime went up, therefore violent video games caused violent crime to go up. One, not only is that second statistic true, violent crime's going down, but even if it was going up, that is the association correlation fallacy. Just because one thing started happening way more when something else started happening way more doesn't mean that there's any connection between those two. You can find weird connections, like you could probably find something like milk consumption went up this year and so did AIDS. Milk causes AIDS. Like, no, that would be a horrible conclusion. And that's basically it. I always try to keep these YouTube videos short, so that's really it.